All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to. I need like an infusion of caffeine,
Okay.
like a needle or an IV or something, just straight to me, so that because right now I'm like, then when the show starts, I can be, all right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Listen Up and Santa Paula. Oh my God, I haven't done that
almost
in
made a
like
mistake there.
forever.
Wow, we would have gotten booted off the
I
air.
know
Wow.
that's how tired I am.
Wow, but you don't
So
drink coffee.
I don't. I drink that. Well,
Dr. Pepper.
yeah, but I'm trying to get off of it.
You just need a 2 liter
Yeah.
and just down it.
Yeah,
That'll charge you up for
do
the
straight
show.
straight IV.
Yep.
Do I look tired, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Julie thought. She's like, "What are you on?"
Mhm.
I mean, I got like bags under my eyes. My eyes are hardly open.
Well, you know what? With Julie not here, she can't monitor your level of work or work-life balance.
That, and I'm not eating properly.
Yeah.
And I'm probably not doing my medication correctly either.
Well, there you go. So Julie, come back soon.
Yeah, she better, because I'll be dead.
You'll be fine. We'll find you in a corner, just curled up.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got some things to talk about on the film festival, because right now it's kind of all about the festival.
Yep.
Coming up this Saturday and Sunday, and we'll talk more about my my poor eating habits and lack of health.
There you go.
I should probably check my blood pressure and my my heart rate.
Yeah, you may not want to. How about start with sleep?
Okay. All right. We'll be right back.
Rough Edge FM. Irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
There's so much going on in your community that even in this age of information, it's tough to keep up. This show will help. It's all about what's new, what's happening, and what's out there. So if you're ready, sit back and listen up, Santa Paula.
Hey, did you notice that beautiful SP on the mountain?
Yes.
In this video?
Mm-hmm.
It's not there anymore.
Well, I mean, the rains we had earlier this year pretty much washed it away.
It's like really faint. I was redoing some pictures, and I wanted to go get the clock tower and the SP for that iconic, view. And I'm gonna have to Photoshop it in, because you can barely see it.
More than likely, they'll probably do it in September, October when it gets a little cooler. They'll I know once a year, every other year, they try and redo it. I think they did it last year.
So what do they have to do?
Well, they have to scale the mountain, get up top, and then they have to come down, and they have to clear the brush and everything that's right there, and then they have to just kind of repaint the rocks and all that area right there.
So they paint that.
They paint it. Yeah.
Okay.
So they've done it the last few years, and of course, with all the rains, it's kind of washed it away. So normally when they paint it, it lasts a few years, but we don't have the kind of rain we have had in the last few years. So they'll get to it sometime this year, but it's not easy, and it's not cheap to do it. So, but it's done by, I know last year, I think Limonera worked with Associates and Secretary. They have to get permission from the property owner to be able to do that. So it's a process.
So who owns that?
Well, there's a private property owner that owns that portion of the mountain. They're all different people that own different areas, and they have to get permission to get on that site right there. So, and it's not just drive up and go up. You have to go to top and then scale down.
Oh, wow.
And it's at an angle. It's a good, healthy angle there. So it's not easy. Not anybody can just go up there and paint it. So
yeah, you don't think about that because I think a lot of people just assume that the mountain's owned by the city or the state or somebody, but
no, that's outside of city limits. So it's privately owned.
Wow.
And then all the oil rigs and stuff see out there, they lease that property from the property owner. So yeah, so it's a process. You can't just say, okay, we're going to go paint that today. You have to get permission, and the whole thing, the insurance, the liability, and so it is a process to do it.
Wow.
So I know people on social media have said, why can't, it needs to be done, whatever. Everybody knows it needs to be done, but there's just steps you have to take in order to do it the right way. And it's got to be safe for the person that's going to be up there too. But right now it's too hot to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
Photoshop.
Yeah. And that's why usually they do it in the fall. So you might see something happening in October, I would think, before, when it starts cooling down a little bit, and then maybe late September. But I'm sure there'll be people on social media that'll point it out as they usually like to do.
So who's responsible for it? Anybody?
No,
Really?
not really. Nobody. It's been there
Just
for
on
years,
somebody's property, and
it's just been kind of this long time tradition from probably the 50s when they started doing it. Used to be the high school, they used to have a lot of the kids that would go up there for homecoming and stuff, and they would go up there and paint it, but you can't do that now. It's just not safe.
I don't know if they were going up for homecoming. I don't know if they were actually going up there to paint.
Well, paint amongst other things. So, whatever teenage kids do, which I have no idea about. So, but now it's there's a lot of liability. It's privately owned, and I'm sure it was privately owned back then, but fenced off. So there's just a lot to it, and it's not safe. It's not safe if you don't have the right equipment.
Right.
So we've been fortunate as a community that Limoneira helps with the project, and they get associates and secretary was up there. They've done it the last few years, help, but city doesn't provide any funding for it. It's usually privately funded that does that every year. So, like I said, I think Limoneira
just go up by helicopter and get lowered down.
Just lower down and spray it
with a spray can.
Yeah, but then I don't know if it's going to be perfect. It might be more like script, if there's a little bit of wind. But we've talked about this for years, and even like during COVID when that happened, with Rotary was talking about when I was president about actually going up there and doing it. But then we found out there's a lot of steps to it. And so there's some hoops you got to jump through, but it's outside of the city limits. So the city really doesn't have an involvement. They have an influence. They can ask, but they really can't provide funding or do anything for that. It's private. So, but the city does get it. They'll make a few phone calls and try and persuade some companies to help with that. So, yeah.
God, I we should go off camera today.
Why? Why?
I look like hell.
Yeah, well, and then it's like 80 and 90 degrees in here, and that's going to put you to sleep too. It should be like freezing cold, so it keeps you awake.
Is that maybe that's what the issue is that it's been so hot lately that I'm just like,
yeah, you gotta, I'm sitting here, I'm starting to sweat. I'm like, man, where's the AC? You got to get this
costs money.
Well, that's true, but it's also being comfortable too. So, but I'll throw an extra $1 for AC.
Let's start a pledge drive for AC in the for the radio show.
A little GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how that goes.
Keep John comfortable.
Yeah. Well, I should bring my own little fan. Well, there's a fan here. I should turn this. Does this fan work?
I don't know. Mine does.
Oh, okay. Let me see what I got here. Oh, look at that. It works. Oh, much better. Look at that. Wow.
I got mine.
This fan's been sitting here forever. You've never told me it works. So
I can't see anything over on that side.
Wow, look at that. I'm comfortable now.
I got mine.
Well, you should be awake the whole time. Wow. You got a spray bottle, you just spray it into the fan and then it'll shoot water at you.
There you go.
Oh yeah, there you go. A little mustard. There you go.
Add a little mustard to it.
Nice. Okay.
Anyway,
all right. Enough about us. What's going on?
Okay. So we got the roundtable coming up tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow 9:00 at the Glen Tavern. We invite businesses and anybody that's interested from the public that wants to come in and listen a little bit about what goes on with the city, some projects that are happening, stuff that's going on in the chamber. So tomorrow it'll be a chamber update. We'll talk about projects that we're working on and some upcoming events. And we'll have James Mason talk a little about economic development and answer any questions about some projects that are going on between housing and businesses and other things that he's working on. And then we're scheduled to have somebody from the police department, whether it's the chief or the commander, to come in and talk a little bit about an update with what the police department's doing, especially about the remodel. Talk about the status of their force right now, because they've added some new people lately, and then they'll be there to answer any questions too. So if they're there, that'll be great. And then we're going to give some businesses opportunity to talk about what they're doing too. So because there's some projects and some events that other members are doing as well. So
talk about what they're doing and some of their interests might be as far as future things. And
we'll get some stuff for future, because our next roundtable will be the last Thursday in September. and it's right before voting season opens. So I'm sure the election might be some topics in our Measure R right now that's being proposed for the 1 cent sales tax increase. So so I'm sure that's high on people's minds right now. So we'll see tomorrow what goes on. And so being summer, we might have one council member there, but most of them are gone. But there'll be a few city staff people there to answer some questions, and I'll be there to answer some questions as well. And it's more of a networking opportunity too for businesses, and just to kind of, we just had our mixer last week, so this time we're gonna.
That was a good mixer.
Yeah, it was great. And then we now we're doing a morning session, so it's another networking opportunity too. So these are usually good. We had 20 to 30 businesses that show up, and it's kind of an open forum. So
all right, so I'm going to ask you a vain question.
Okay.
Does this side of my mouth extend longer than this side of my mouth?
Kind of looks like it. Why?
I have a crooked lip.
Oh, I don't get that close to you, so I don't really know. But from a distance, you look a little funky.
I feel like I have like this long part here, and it's like kind of short on that side.
Just grow your mustache out a little longer, and nobody will.
I'm just wondering, maybe I had a stroke.
Okay, all right. Wow. Well, you're getting delirious with being tired.
Gee, I'm telling you.
Wow. Can you push along for another 15-20 minutes?
I think I can do it.
Then you can just go to sleep in the corner. It's hot enough in here. You don't need a blanket.
I have a cot in here now. I brought a cot.
There you go. There you go. So
today I have to go hang up so for the film festival, we got this really, really cool long, big size screen. So it's going to be like movie theater screen.
Yeah. When I got it, I was, we looked at it online, and when we got it, it was like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. So
yeah, I fully expected when we got it that there was going to be a lot of blank space between the top of the Santa Paula Theater Center and on the sides, and it literally extends the entire opening.
Yeah, because I was thinking, how are we going to do? Maybe close part of the curtains or whatever, but no, it's the full length.
Oh yeah,
it's a big screen.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice.
Yeah,
and I got confirmation from some of the people. So Quentin Aaron will not be available. He is in Georgia, I believe, right now. But we are going to have some celebrities there. Sally Kirkland will be there.
Nice.
And we notified the award recipients already, so that they can be there for the reception and everything.
Okay.
And by the way, I have had some questions about the reception, as whether or not is it open to the public, or is it only open up to the people that submitted their films. And so I was telling people that, everybody's welcome if they want to come hang out and, take some pictures with some of the people or be there for the awards. I mean, come down, hang out. I don't think we were charging admission for that. It was just part of the tail end of the event.
But if they would like to donate to either the festival or even the theater center there, we have Optimists that'll be doing popcorn. You can donate to Optimists for all the great work they do too.
Yep.
So there's a lot of opportunity if you go there just to make a donation.
And I think we're gonna have a couple of raffle items, and so yeah, we are gonna ask for donations, and we'll we got some raffles, but for the most part, just come hang out and have a good time. And
yeah, it'll be fun for we don't know what to expect because it's the first one,
right?
But you've been to festivals before, and so I'm looking forward to it. I don't really know what to expect either, but I mean,
well, a lot of these receptions are just a bunch of people kind of hanging out with their groups and
a little networking event.
Yeah, a little bit of networking, but nothing really exciting. And I think ours is going to be fun.
Was that kind of like how that one premiere that we were in the Ventura Theater, and me and my wife went to, and it was remember you showed the what was the movie you showed?
The Time Capsule.
Time Capsule. And everybody was kind of there, and they kind of had. I saw their little pockets of people that they work with, so you could see the little groups that all do things together on a regular basis.
Yeah,
like a lot of things. So
yeah,
but so yeah, for this.
But ours, I mean, we'll have maybe a little a little entertainment, maybe just some meet and greets and some autographs from some of the more well-known celebrities. I mean, I'll sign autographs.
Yeah. What are you charging
for the autographs?
Yeah.
I'll pay somebody $5 if they ask for it.
Nice.
So
nice. Oh, we could raise some good money if they want your autograph and you pay them. I could get
how are you going to raise the money if I'm paying them?
I could get 100 people to come in, and you could donate to the chamber.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So you give me the money, I'll have 100 people come in. You could sign 100 autographs. You give me $5 for every autograph. Look at that!
Wow.
Oh, it's a good fundraiser.
Yeah.
For the chamber. Wow. That'll pay for that big screen we bought.
I know.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a good idea if you're going to pay people for your autograph.
Well, I mean, how else am I going to give it out?
That's true. So, but yeah, you got some celebrity status,
a little bit.
So you have a trick with money?
I do.
Where they give you like $10 and you give them $5 and change, but that kind of,
I have a stack of $1 bills
Mhm.
that I can flip through, show everybody the $1 bills, and then you just give it a little flick, and all of them are now $100 bills.
Nice.
So it goes from like $100 in stacks to about $10,000.
So why don't you do that on a regular basis? You'd never have to worry about really working.
Well, A, the trick costs $100, and B, it's fake money.
Oh.
So if I did that on a regular basis, it would be $100 times however many times I do it. So somebody else would be benefiting it once again.
A good magician would make it real, though.
Yeah, what I can do
so
is I can change a $100 bill to a $1 bill and then walk away.
You could do that. They give you $100.
And that would be $99 each time.
That's the way to do it.
And it's a trick worth watching.
Yeah. I don't know if it's worth $99, but no, might be worth that buck that you start.
Yeah.
Get back, but
maybe I could do it for do a $10 bill to a $1.
That's actually not.
And then it's $9.
So come up with some stuff.
Yeah.
On the festival, is there going to be any Q&A?
Yes. Every block has its own Q&A.
Okay.
So it'll be a 20-minute Q&A session.
Good.
So
yeah, I mean, I've watched most of the films as you have and stuff. So yeah, I can see where people would have some questions, and but everything I've seen so far has been really good.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that every film's going to be represented to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a shame if there's a block where the way we structure it and there's nobody local that can represent, but at least if the public can come out and represent it on their own, that just to have some people there, that'll be nice.
And so what's the cost?
So it's $10 a block.
Mm-hmm.
Each block is roughly about 2 hours, 2.5 hours long, depending on the number of films. Some blocks are all shorts.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get an opportunity to maybe see 5 different style movies in one block.
Can I explain what a short is?
A short is somebody under 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
No. Time wise, it's roughly about 30 minutes or less.
Okay.
And a feature is typically about an hour and 15 or more.
So 31 minutes and over is a feature, give or take.
Yeah, it's kind of like there's no middle. It's like you're either a short or you're a feature, and there's no like, well, if we go 50 minutes, what are we? You're a problem.
Well, although there has been some supposedly feature-length movies I've seen on cable that were just right at an hour over the years. So,
yeah,
I mean that's considered a feature.
I mean TV series
like
maybe,
series.
but yeah,
even TV series are like 40 minutes when you take out the commercials.
Right.
So, okay, no,
but yeah, normally a feature film is about an hour 15 or more.
So just say less than an hour is considered a short.
Yeah,
on the safe side.
Yeah,
and then
but most shorts are under 30 minutes.
Yeah, there was some that we saw that were like 6 to 7 minutes.
Yeah, and then
kind of like
average is about 20.
Yeah. So, but they're all good. I mean, everything I've seen has been really good. Very creative.
Yeah, and we have I think we have about 13 awards that will be given out.
Okay.
So
so it's $10 a block.
$10 a block, $50 for the whole weekend.
And that gives you access to all 7 blocks, right?
All 7 blocks.
So yeah, that's a bargain in itself. And you can kind of come and go as you want, right?
Yes. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, you want to show up and there's one particular block that you're busy or whatever, then you just come to the other ones.
And for your $50, one, you get to go to a great theater. You get to see some great films, and the money you're doing is going towards a great cause, which helps the theater center. It helps your business, and then
chamber.
It helps the chamber, and it helps Optimus, who's actually going to be there too. So
and it helps the community
and the community in general, starting something big,
right?
So so your money's just not going into somebody's pocket. It's going, and that money's going to be used right back into the community. So, which most people that live here know, when they do things like that, the organizations that run this usually put it right back into the community.
Yeah, and a lot of it, went right back into the festival.
Yeah, exactly.
If you think about it, the step and repeat, the screen, the all that stuff, and so it's
always the first year you have to put
and it's really for the benefit of the filmmakers, is to give them a platform and to give Santa Paula a voice, because we are an art community to a large extent, and
this is an avenue we haven't really tapped into.
No.
We have, the art museum does a great job. They have programming and they do all these other things that's related to what they do. The agricultural museum does their thing. Aviation does their thing. But, theater center does live. You do live stuff. There's a comedy show that's live. But we don't really have anything for film. And the thing is, Santa Paula, it started here. It started here, with the silent films. And it's like, why aren't we doing this? Yes, Universalist Church does show old movies, and they do a great job with doing that to keep that kind of spark going. But this is an opportunity to create an ongoing event that can only grow,
right?
And we've talked about expanding to get more youth projects in. I think we have 1 or 2.
I think we have a couple.
Yeah, but it would be great if we had a whole series, like a block that was all strictly youth films.
Yeah, a whole day.
Or a whole day, exactly.
Yeah.
And it'd be great to see all the great young talent we have in not just Santa Paula, but Ventura County. Because I know there's a lot of the school districts are doing things with filmmaking now, and it's just getting the word to them and then see what kind of projects they can come up with. I think it's excellent.
Yeah. And, if you think about it, Santa Paula was an important footprint in the movie industry back in the day.
Yeah.
And it only makes sense that it should be, an important part of filmmakers and giving people a platform.
Well, and it does, on another side of it too, it does help because we do have a lot of filming in Santa Paula, that these young filmmakers, that we give them an opportunity, they would come back and film in Santa Paula. So it's kind of like even a recruiting tool for us too. And if we get some big, producers and stuff that come in, they say, hey, this is a great town, we should be doing something here. There's an opportunity here. So even though we're showing talent, but we're also helping promote our city too,
right,
for future. So maybe even like with you, that you make films and you do stuff like that, it helps elevate what you do too. And you never know what's going to happen. I mean, you may end up being a movie star one day. I don't know. Maybe me too. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what kind of movie, but I mean, whatever. But I mean, there's an opportunity. You need to look. You need to look better though. You can't look tired. So unless that's the role you're going for.
But I thought it was.
Yeah.
Well, you said I was a celebrity star.
You have been in a couple films.
I know, but I mean, I thought you said I was a celebrity.
Depends on, you're a celebrity based off what you currently do, but you want to be that full big old movie star, right? So this is kind of, you're also auditioning too.
I'm a celebrity in my own eyes.
That's true.
Yeah.
But maybe you can audition for, you might be a producer that comes in or a filmmaker and says, hey, you know what? You got the look. Let's get you in a movie.
I got the.
Yeah. We need that sneaky look.
You look like a guy who is either stoned out of his mind or he had a stroke. So
we need somebody that's overworked and doesn't sleep, and doesn't eat and
looks dead
healthy.
to the world.
You're perfect for this role. There you go. You never know, so
I can play the part.
You may inspire somebody to write something for you.
So we were doing a class at one of the homeschool groups for theater, for not theater, but acting.
Yeah.
And and we were explaining to the kids that, acting, because everybody looks at acting as being fake. You're pretending, but in reality, you're really not, because the emotions that you draw into your character are coming from real life situations. So I was explaining to them that, like, when actors need to cry, oftentimes they're bringing back events that were really sad to them, like my sister dying or something like that. And you're remembering those emotions that you felt at that time. And that's what you're bringing to the stage. And so we were trying to explain to the kids that if you don't know what an emotion is, you can't act it. It's not like you can go and pretend. You have to know personally what that feels like. Or so we did exercises like, you're angry. And so people come out and they're like, like this. And it's like, okay, now let's stop that for a sec. And let's take it back where, do you have a brother or sister? Yeah. Have they ever broke a toy on you? Yes. Now that's anger. How did you feel? How was your actions when that happened? And it really changes, because they're not trying to pretend. Now they got something they can call back on. Yeah. And I said, that's why, actors need so much therapy, because they're constantly.
Yeah. A lot of them do.
Yeah. They're constantly bringing back these emotions of.
But you see a lot of actors that will, in prepping for a role, they'll go into isolation for 3 to 6 months to get into character.
Oh yeah.
Or they become that character before they're on film. And I forgot what the actor was. I recently read that the actor was in character even when they weren't filming during the whole thing.
That's Dustin Hoffman.
It wasn't Dustin. I was one of the more current actors.
So Dustin Hoffman was so they call him character actors. What do they call it? Shoot, I lost the name. But they actually become.
Yeah.
So there are some actors that you call action, and they're that character. Excuse me. But Dustin Hoffman, like during Rain Man, when he took a break and everything, most actors, when they take a break, they go back to being Tom Cruise or, somebody else. Dustin Hoffman stayed
in character
as Rain Man.
Yeah.
And method acting. That's what they call it. Method acting. And that's tough for a lot of actors, because you're physically becoming that person. And
I was thinking back, the gentleman that played the Joker in the Batman movie.
Oh, and killed himself.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
That they said that he played that character on and off the set.
Yeah.
And when he was done filming, he'd go back into his dressing room or whatever, but he stayed in character the entire time. And they had to kind of address him that way. And that's what I heard,
Yeah.
And so even when there was like action and they stopped filming, he's still that character.
Right.
And a lot of actors.
And it takes an emotional toll, because he was a psycho.
Yeah.
And I know of people who think that a lot of the fact that he overdosed and everything was over that character, because he was a psycho, and it just emotionally it affected him.
But if you're filming for like 3 to 6 months and you're in this character and you're all in, and it's a character that's got a certain type of demeanor and stuff, what happens when you're done filming? How do you turn that off and move on to the next project without it affecting you?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you're right. A lot of them are in therapy,
especially when you're psychotic and you're a killer and you're
you turn around and try and be the straight up person in the next role. That's got to play on your psyche a little bit,
You would think
it takes a strong person to be able to do that. But we were my wife and I went with some friends. We went to go the Santa Paula Theater over the weekend, and we saw that Women in Jeopardy show. And Jessie Mae Stevenson and the rest of the crew, they were fantastic.
Yeah.
But you could see how they. I didn't see her, Jessie Mae, as Jessie Mae. I actually got into the character because she dove in. They all did a good job diving into it.
Ron playing two characters.
Oh, he was fantastic. Yeah, he was great.
Well, that play is over now, so I guess we can kind of divulge it. But he was a dentist who was supposedly a serial killer, and then he also played the part of a cop.
Yeah,
and people were shocked about how much they looked the same, but he played that nerdy doctor character really well. And
but it was great, and you see how they dove into it, and then with him playing two completely different characters, that's tough to do in one play.
Yeah.
But everybody in there was fantastic, and it's a small little theater, and they're literally from me to you, and they're acting right in front, and it's just like, so there's something to be said about little hometown theaters, and if you haven't gone to the Santa Paula Theater for a play, you gotta go.
Yeah,
it's a very unique setting, and their backstage does well too. I mean,
right.
the backstage things too. So definitely,
we got a lot of good talent too that performs
There's
there.
a lot of talent in our community.
Yeah.
So there's so many good things that are going on. You have what's your next show that you have going on?
We have Jonathan Molo coming up for and he's got such an amazing personality. Guy is just so genuine. Yeah. So he'll be here on August 9th, and then on August 1st. Mm-hmm. Is that the first Friday?
Second is the first Friday. It's August 2nd.
Second. Oh, okay. So August 2nd is our improv.
Yeah.
And they do a great job. I mean, there's these are all people that are going to class for improv class, but we have about 6 veterans that have been at this for 10 plus years, and
a lot of them are local though too, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of local talent there, and so that's great what you're doing. The theater's going to have, besides the film festival, they're starting a new play coming up too.
Yeah, the reason why we're doing the film festival when we are is because they're in their break, so they're in between sets.
Yeah.
And
I don't remember what the next play is that they're doing. So.
I think it might be the Neil Simon play.
Yeah. Chapter 2, was it?
Chapter 2, yeah.
Okay. Next comedy. So yeah, that's going to be great. We have comedy this Friday. Giggles
with Giggles, and that's at the airport, right?
Airport Hangar Comedy. So go support, what the Hangar's doing, what the comedy's doing.
Tom, where does he get his comics?
He pulls a network of comics from all over the country.
Okay.
A lot of them that will do, like, they're doing tours, like and they're in the LA area, and he knows them all. So they'll come in and do a set on a Friday because maybe they're playing LA on Saturday.
Nice.
So he'll bring them in, and I think it's either $10 or $15 to get in right now, but I mean, he does it for the love of what of comedy, and a lot of these artists, they come in and they kind of hone their skills, and so they try different materials.
It's a good place to try out new stuff because it's small, it's local,
and he's had some comedians that have actually went on to bigger, a lot of big things, or current big name actor or comedians that will come in because they live here in Ventura County, so he usually has a good 3 to 4 comedians that come in on a regular basis. And I know he had to switch the lead, and I don't remember who the lead comic is for this week, but it's a packed house every time. It's a huge support system for the Hangar Bar. So if you haven't been to the Airport Cafe right there, please go. And that's a great place to go. We just had our mixer there last Thursday, and it was a great turnout. Plus there was karaoke going on Thursday night. And so they have a great bar there. Luis and his staff there do a great job, and they're very accommodating for anybody that does anything, that wants to do anything there. So, so we have a lot of great live events in our community, and, amongst them.
And I got to tell you, anyone doing it, anyone who is putting on a live event, whether it's you putting it on, whether it's us putting it on, or Giggles or the Santa Paula Theater Center, it is truly being done for the love and passion of the art, because if it wasn't, none of us would go through the headaches and the heartaches and everything else that it takes to put on these events.
Yeah. And you can go to any city in our county. It's the same thing.
Oh yeah.
They're not big money makers. They make enough to pay for the event, hopefully.
Yeah.
So, but it's for
There's
the
a tremendous amount of stress that's involved in putting those things on.
But it's for the love, and it's for the people, and it helps, it's part of economic development, and economic vitality, to bring people out and see where they live in such a great town. And as I said, it's not just Santa Paula, but you go to any city here in the county, and you go to Thousand Oaks, they've got great, the Civic Auditorium there, that, Oxnard, the PAC over there, and Ventura, the theater, Moore Park's got their theater on the high. There's a lot of these theaters that show live performances, and you don't have to go to LA.
Right.
And there's talent here. There's so much talent here. So, if you don't get a chance to do some of these here, look all around. There's a lot of stuff in the county, and it all circles back to all of us at some point. We're all involved. We just did the grants with the county for the arts,
right?
And I was involved in some of the selection process, and I looked at it as a whole, and I saw a lot of crossover. A lot of people that are involved in other areas, which you're involved with, with OPAC. You're involved with the Ventura, the
Performance Theater for Young Artists, and
Poinsettia Pavilion. You do stuff there, and I saw even like in Moore Park and Simi Valley and all. They all work together.
Yeah,
so it's like we all cross together at some point. So any place you support helps everybody in general. But for sure you do Santa Paula first. That's the thing. But just, like I said, we all help each other out. And so,
there's plenty of art and there's plenty of people going around. You just got to get out and support what's happening.
Exactly. We have the county fair starting next Wednesday. And there's a lot of young talent that's going to be out there too. So a lot of good things happening in our community in general. So, so please support. And
it's important for the community that your part is to get involved. Because there are a lot of people that are putting a tremendous amount of effort to make these things happen. Mm-hmm. And the only way to continue to make them happen is if you come out and you do your part.
Yeah.
And that's support it.
Yeah. We have Cruise Night coming up a week from Friday, and that's a free event. 300 and some cars there, people from all around the county come in, and the best way you come support is go there, shop local, go to the restaurants. That's how you support continuing these events.
Right.
So anytime any of us that put these events on, the film festival, come to the film, even if you go to one block and you spend $10 and go see some great local films, that supports what we're doing too.
Right.
And so we just we always talk about to get people to just come out and support. We'll continue to do this if people come to it.
Right.
The minute they stop coming, we're moving on. So, it does get expensive. So
yeah. All right. And talking about moving on, we are done.
You survived.
I survived.
I kept you going.
Do I look a little more alive? My eyes are still squinting though.
You need more Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
But no, you survived.
That or I might be Asian.
Better watch yourself. It's,
Yeah.
But you've been a real trooper today.
Have I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe next time get some AC in here, we'll be good. But
I need makeup.
There's no makeup that's going to fix that.
So
gotta be sleep. There you go.
All right, everybody. We will see you all next week. Stay safe, and don't forget Santa Paula Film Festival this weekend. Go to santapaulafilmfestival.org to get your tickets. And anything else you want to find out that's going on, go to heritagevalleyca.org or go to the santapaulachamber.com. or thomagic.org. You get all the information you need right there.
Everything's there.
Everything's there.
Yep.
So we will see you all next week.
This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.